Hey guys, welcome back to the Wealth Motivation channel. So, I was talking the other day to some people, and we're talking about people that we kind of use as role models or whatever, and I covered that in a previous video on how to choose a role model. And what I kind of suggested is like pick two people to choose as role models and kind of mimic what they've done. And I don't know, we were kind of talking about that, and for some odd reason, the people I was talking to, they were kind of like, not necessarily mocking me, but they're just like, oh, this person, they're just loud and obnoxious, and that's how they get attention. And it's just like, it's called marketing. There's many different forms to market yourself. You can be really laid back and mellow. You can be loud and obnoxious. I mean, there's many different forms that marketing can take. And you got to learn how to market yourself to the best of your ability. Anyway, these people, like, they weren't all that impressed with this person, and I'll say their name in a sec. But to me, this person has achieved far more success than anyone I've ever known, or probably will know, has achieved. And he was kind of one of my role models. Anyway, that guy is Grant Cardone. This guy, I found him my senior year of college. And I started listening to him and watching his videos, and like I already wanted to invest in real estate, but listening to him, he made it make way more sense of how to get started and the route to do it. And so for me, like, I never even thought. I was just like, okay, build some duplexes, maybe some quadplexes, buy some houses, rent them out, stuff like that. Like, investing in apartment complexes never even registered in my mind. Like, never even came to my mind. And then his backstory, where, you know, I think he said he was 10 when his father passed away and all this other stuff. And he went through all these issues. And he came out on top. And he achieved all this great success. He started a $1 company. Not $1 company. He started I think he started like 4 or 5 different companies. Decamillionaire, I think his net worth's close to $500 million now. Has close to 5,000 units in apartment complexes. I mean, the guy is a genius. He's a real estate mogul. He's a genius. And I'll cover other people that I've kind of looked up to. But he is, like, I think he was the first one that really resonated with me to look bigger than, like, hey, let's build some duplexes, some quadplexes. Like, he made me open my eyes and be like, holy cow, I can do something bigger than I have ever imagined. Like, not gonna lie, guys, my ultimate goal is to have a net worth of $3 billion one day, and have 1.5 of that in liquidated cash. The rest I'll have in assets. And then if I get more than that, if I get a little bit short of that, hey, I'm not going to be mad. because I achieved way more than a lot of people have ever done. And so him growing up, I think he said he grew up in Louisiana, and then he moved around. He did a ton of different jobs. He was a car salesman. And the one thing that really resonated with me, that really stuck out, was he started out in sales. I mean, he started out as a car salesman, which is what I'm doing now. And I'm just like, oh my word, I can do so much. Because the one thing I learned was, if you don't learn how to sell, I'm not saying you can't. It's going to be a lot tougher for you to get businesses off the ground, get investors, because you got to learn how to sell people on your product. I don't ever plan to have investors because I want to solely own all my assets. I don't want to have any partners, any investors. I want it to all be me. But if it does come to the point where I have to convince somebody, I got to know how to sell. I got to know how to sell the project. I got to know how to sell everything there is about it. I got to know all of that. I have got to be able to convince that person this is an amazing product. This is a great financial opportunity for us both. And this is why. X, Y, Z, A, B, C, all the way to Z. Everything. And so that is what Grant Cardone has been really great at doing. Is he's learned how to sell. He's learned how to get investors. He's learned how to get the big deals. He's learned to sell people on why he is the person that they should sell their product to. When he goes to buy 300 to 500 units in apartment complexes, he has to go there and convince them. Sorry, people. My bad. He has to go and convince those people of why he is the guy they should pick. Because there's numerous people bidding offers of why he should be the one to receive that particular apartment complex. So, I mean, there's so many different things. And I don't know. He just has a way of, like, he came from nothing. That's the one thing. I mean, his family wasn't wealthy. His family wasn't loaded. He was a small town kid who grew up to have everything that he could have ever wanted. Private jet, gorgeous wife, kids. I mean, all of them. All the whole shebang. And that's what really resonated with me. And it just made it click. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, find somebody to follow. Whether it's Grant Cardone, Robert Kiyosaki, Trump, whoever it may be. I think his name's Dean Grazioni. I think that's what his name is. Anyway, whoever it is, find somebody to follow and mimic their steps. Look at what they've done to achieve their success. Look at the steps they took. Figure out how they did it. And I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but if you put your effort in, just like Grant Cardone says, if you 10x everything, 10x your effort, 10x everything, it will come true. Because it happened for him, and it's happened for several other people. Several hundred. People didn't get to the top. People didn't fight their way to financial success and freedom because they sat on their butt and like, oh my word, I don't know how. That's not what they did. Excuse me. It drives me nuts when people complain. Me, I busted my ass. I'm not saying I'm well off. I'm not saying I'm rich. but I have stuff working for me. I have got a great job that will help me get assets, that will pay me more money to where I'll be able to get more assets to where I'm finally at the level that I want to achieve. Because if I fail, it's on me. The same with you. If you fail, it's on you. You can whine, you can complain. I don't have money, I don't have resources, I don't have this, I don't have that. There's people that have come from literally nothing. Nothing. And they have success. I think, what's his name? Dean Grazioni? I think, like, he was pretty, teenager through high school. He busted his butt, flipped cars, did all sorts of stuff. And shoot, he has thousands of properties, I think 20 plus books. I mean, he literally, there's so many examples of people who came from nothing and they are so financially successful now, they literally don't have a financial worry in the world. And here's the deal. You can have that same success too. You just have to put in the effort. Just like what I'm doing, just like Grant Cardone has done, all these other guys. But the main focus right now is Grant Cardone because he's the main guy that I'm talking about. He put in so much effort. All he did, before he even bought his first real estate deal, he shopped for 3 years, looked at hundreds of properties, and finally bought his first property. He learned what he needed to learn about the real estate market before he bought. That's what I'm doing now. I'm looking at real estate deals all the time. I'm looking at LoopNet to figure out what a good property is, what a bad property is. I walk around my hometown and look at apartment complexes, figure out why certain rents are at certain rates and so on and so forth. I figure out what's going on in my markets. So, you do what you have got to do. Literally, you can make all the excuses in the world. You can say this, you can say that, and, you can be sitting there like, oh, you don't know my backstory. Trust me. Life hasn't been easy for all of us. And I'm not going to say much, but trust me, if you're coming from a bad background, to a degree, I know what you're talking about. And my sympathy does go out to you. But there's a point, and I know it's hard to hear this. Trust me, it was hard for me to hear this. You've got to get over your insecurities, all the other bullshit, excuse my French, but all the other bullshit that's in your past, you have got to get over that, and you've got to let that all go. Because that is like a ball and chain, and it will slow you down. You'll be motivated, but that will still slow you down. Because that will affect the relationships and everything, even business relationships. So, like I say, go forth, figure out 1 to 2, figure out a person. Look at them, study them, read their books, figure out what they've done, how they've done it, look at the ins and outs of their companies. Watch their videos, do whatever you got to do. Study these people. Study that person for all that you're worth. Study, study, study. Figure out how they reach the financial security and success that they have. Figure it out. Because no one's going to hand it to you. No one's going to write you a check and be like, hey, here's $1 billion. You're a billionaire now. of focus. Sorry. I mean, I'm not saying great stuff happens, but the chances of that happening are slim. And I'm going to be honest with you. More than likely, you're going to have to claw your way to the top. To reach the point where you're one of the 1%, you're going to have to claw your way to the top. But through hard work and God willing, I'm sure that you'll do it. Because I have faith in you. Grant Cardone has faith in you. Robert Kiyosaki, all these guys have faith in you that you can reach the top and become financially successful. So, get wealthy, stay motivated, my friends. Take it easy. Have a good week.